Welcome in part 3 of our Jujitsu video series. My name is Bernd Hillebrand, to my right Joachim Tumfahrt, to my left Oliver Wittmann, who are both co-authors to these videos. We hope you will enjoy this tape. Defense against multiple attackers. The defense against multiple attackers is our first topic in this tape. While here, in this scene, the confrontation could be avoided through talking, in our next scene, this was not possible. The attackers are not ready for discussion, so the defender has to ward the attacks off. First the more dangerous one, then the less dangerous one. Also here, the defender has no choice then to defend himself. He uses the straight arm bar against the attacker on the ground to keep the second attacker at distance. It's not always sensible to fight back. In this threat, the attackers only want to help the jacket of the defender. Concerning the situation that there's a knife and two attackers, the defender decides for his life and health and against the expensive leather jacket. In this situation, the defender has no choice. He could manage to redirect and disarm the knife and use it as a threat. In this situation, the attackers choose to escape. Now you see some combinations against two attackers in the training situation. One attacker comes from behind and gives a bear hug, while the other attacks from the front. To stabilize his position, the defender hooks his right leg into the knee. Then he has to ward off the second attacker. He blocks the punch, gives two headbutts, followed up by an elbow strike. Afterwards, he's concerned with the first attacker. He gives a groin shot, grabs the foot, brings the attacker down, injects his right foot into the knee, turns the attacker to the stomach, secures the arms, keeps the weight on the attacker, and goes to a position where he can observe the other one. Stabilize, defend, throw, turn, and secure. Here, the defender uses a side kick against the first attacker and then uses the second attacker to place him between the first and the second. Once more. The defender is attacked from two sides. He gives a side kick to the attacker on the left and then uses an arm bar to turn the second attacker between him and the first. The second attacker drops, evade the kick, do a two-hand sickle, throw the first attacker on the second, and give a final kick. Then take your distance. Once more from the other side. Kick, block, put him in the way, evade, throw in on top, and kick. In this situation, both attackers come from two sides. The defender moves backwards to have both attackers in sight. Here, the attackers come from two different angles. The defender moves back. He evades the punch, lifts the first attacker, and places him between the other, who has to step over the first attacker. The defender sweeps and applies kicks and punches. The defender moves backwards, evades a punch, throws, sweeps, punches and kicks. This is very tight for the defender now. He has to evade the choke from behind and ward the front offender off too. One offender gives the choke from behind, the other grabs. The defender dodges, moves to the side, and can avoid this way the grabbing of his leg. He places the rear attacker on top of the front attacker, strikes to the elbow joint to release this grab, and gives a kick to release the grab of the other attacker. Once more, attack from behind, evade, throw, strike, kick. In this situation, the defender is successful against the first attacker and the second one puts him down. Then he has to fight against two attackers in the ground position, which is not an easy thing to do. This is why the defender always should try to stay upright if possible. The defender uses a block and finger jab for the first attack and front kick. The second attacker puts him down. He has to defend against the front kick, gives a groin shot and keeps this foot under control. He has to ward off the first attacker that comes again and he puts him down. The standing opponent grabs his neck, but the defender throws him. He has to evade a kick, kicks the first attacker, gives another kick to the knee, to the chest or head, and finally another kick to end the situation. Once more from the other side in slow motion, because it was such a complex situation. Block, finger jab, front kick. The defender is taken to the ground. He stops the kick with his left forearm, attacks the groin here, keeps the right foot under control, stops the first attacker, and throws him with a leg scissor. The other attacker grabs the head, but through a knee lock, the defender can put the attacker to the ground, evade a kick, front kick to the first attacker, kick the knee of the second, give a back kick to the body or the head, and a final kick to finish that situation. Once more in normal speed. In this situation, the attackers have weapons. The stick attack comes first. The defender manages to disarm the stick and use it against the knife. First, the stick attack. The defender moves away from the knife, parries, and disarms the stick, counter strikes with the stick, gives several hard hits with the stick to the knife hand, so that the attacker drops the knife, and more counterattacks with the stick, securing the knife and staying in a safe distance, keeping both attackers in sight. Ward off, disarm, strike, strike the knife hand, follow-ups, recover the knife. Training exercises for the defense against multiple attackers. Now you see a few training exercises for the defense against multiple attackers. Here, everybody fights everybody. The aim of this exercise is to keep a little bit clear overview in this chaos. Everybody tries to use striking or punching or kicking techniques and to receive as little hits as possible. For this is an exercise which leads the students to free defense. All attacks shall be rather relaxed. Too hard techniques should be avoided because everybody would get too tense to try different attacks and defenses. In this exercise, the defender has to avoid the punch and kick attacks of the attackers. Another aim is that he never gets one of the attackers in his back. In the beginning, he only uses block techniques. Now, this is the same principle, just the defender can give counterattacks, strikes or punches, or kicks, whatever he likes. Evade, block, counter. Block, counter, counter, and so on. Same exercise from the other point of view. In this exercise, the attackers will grab and choke. The defender should try only to use locking techniques. He has to try, first of all again, never to let an attacker come behind his back, and second, to place the one that he is throwing always between him and the other attacker. Throw and place in between. Lock and again between. Turn him around so that nobody's in his back, and so on. The same exercise here, just the defender should not use locking techniques, but throwing techniques. Always see how the defender tries to keep one attacker between himself and the second. In this exercise, attacker and defender are allowed all kinds of techniques. Only weapons are missing in this drill. If you practice this, try to keep it easy and relaxed, because it is more important to have a proper and right tactical approach than to practice hard and extreme techniques in this exercise. Once more the same exercise from the other camera angle. Try to watch and decide for yourself if the defender acts correct from the tactical point of view. Now weapons come into play. In this exercise, the defender has to decide for himself which weapon is the more dangerous one for him. Then he has to try to disarm this weapon and use it against the second attacker. You will see more exercises for the defense against multiple attackers when we cover the topic training with a full body protection suit later on this videotape. In addition to the basic techniques out of the Jujutsu grading requirements, the student has the free choice which techniques he uses during self-defense techniques or within the combinations. He can use techniques from all martial arts, even during examinations. Here you see variations of techniques that belong to the Jujutsu but are not part of the Jujutsu grading requirements. Jujutsu techniques outside the grading requirements. Variations of Jujutsu basic techniques. After parrying the first and the second strikes and lifting the right hand for protection, you push the hand and the arm of the partner diagonally away and lock the foot, either with stepping on the foot and throw him this way, or you sweep the foot while pushing him diagonally, or you move in very long and throw him with body push. And throw. Once more. Parry, parry, check, step on the foot, push and throw. This kind of throw can always be performed when left foot is forward and the attacker strikes with the right hand, or vice versa. Now the sweeping. Fast. And throwing with a body push while moving in very deep. In this connection between a choke and a throw, the defender has to try to get to the outside of the attacker. At the same time, his free hand is moved in front of the neck of the attacker. Both hands grab, a pull for choking, then you throw, you keep the grip, and you finish the throw and choke on the ground again. Choke, throw, keep the grip, go down, and choke. Move to the outside, go to the neck, grab, choke, throw, go down and choke. After blocking and moving in, the defender tries a hip throw, which doesn't work. Then he grabs the left foot and executes a roll forward left, and then applies a leg lock. Move in, apply the throw, grab the foot, roll, and leg lock. Once more. Block, move in for the throw, grab the foot, roll, and leg lock. Block, check, elbow, another elbow to the leg, pull the supporting leg, put him down, and apply a leg lock again. Knee on the other thigh. Block, check, elbow to the chest, move down, elbow to the thigh, pull the leg, knee on the other leg, and squeeze the calf with your forearm. Block, elbow, elbow, throw, squeeze. Block, check, enter with an elbow, elbow to the thigh, pull the leg, knee on the thigh, and apply a squeeze at the calf. Elbow, second elbow, pull, knee, squeeze. The defender blocks a back fist, parries a second strike, turns, throws via a straight armbar, keeps the grip, moves over the attacker, and locks. The left arm is locked over the right arm with a straight armbar. Block, parry, throw, turn, lock. Block the back fist, take the second attack, bring it up, turn, throw over the straight armbar, turn, sit down, and lock the left arm over the right forearm. Here the defender moves in and tries to grab both legs. This is blocked. The defender grabs one leg, applies a roll, and moves into a leg lock. Grab, roll, leg lock. Feint. Grabs the leg, counter, grab one leg, roll, leg lock. In this technique, the attacker grabs, gives a hook, defends, strike to the groin, move into a throw, move over, turn the attacker onto the stomach, and secure him. Block, throw, turn, securing. Block, go for the groin, grab the right hand, apply a throw, turn him onto the stomach, and secure with the arm wrist lock. The attacker gives a hook, the defender pulls the arm down, grabs both legs, applies a roll, and gives a final strike. Block, pull the arm down, move behind, grab both legs, and finishing technique. block, move the arm down, go behind the legs, grab them both, roll, and strike. The attacker chokes, the defender hits to the groin, goes for a hip throw, the attacker counters, the defender makes a variation of a scissor throw and applies a leg lock. Choke attack, attempt for throw, scissor throw, leg lock. Hit in the groin, attempting a hip throw, block. The defender has the attacker's left leg between his legs and can apply a straight knee lock here. Grab and strike. The defender blocks, eye jab, grabs the wrist, brings it up, falls backwards, drops his weight on top of him, and applies a straight arm bar. The defender has to keep the right arm of the attacker very close to the body to have good control and to finish off with a straight arm bar. Block, eye jab, keep the wrist, bring the arm up, the elbow is underneath the biceps, throw him, and straight arm bar. Same technique again from another angle. The elbow is underneath the biceps and the defender grabs the wrist, the attacker tightly. Throw, straight arm bar. Grab, turn, bring him up, left leg behind the attacker's legs, arm bar. In this situation, the attacker wants to lift the defender up. The defender moves a little back to get a better stance and grabs over the right arm of the attacker down into the trousers of the attacker. Then he moves down and applies a strong pressure onto the shoulder joint of the attacker. See the grab at the leg? Going for the legs, move down, grab the trousers and move down. Once more, the attacker goes for the leg, move back, grab the leg and down. Self-defense in and from the ground position. Special techniques and training exercises. Here you see a few possibilities to control an opponent that is on his back. The defender uses locks, chokes, and pinning techniques. He applies the transition from one technique to the next one without losing control. Observe how the defender continuously executes pressure to the opponent's body to keep him pinned to the ground. The arms are locked or controlled during the whole movements. When he moves with his legs over the body of the opponent, he has to take care that the attacker does not clasp his legs. In this position, both arms are controlled by the weight that the defender executes to the body of the opponent. Control of the left arm, bring the right arm under control, go for the neck, keep moving, keep the left arm under control, go for a lock. Control the arm, move into the belt, keep the weight on the chest, turn, release, the left arm, control the right arm here, control the neck, move over the attacker, be aware that he does not clasp your legs, and control him, and have both arms under control here. Now, the opponent is defending passively on the ground while he's on the stomach. This is not a technique that is realistically for a self-defense situation. It's just a basic technique for work on the ground and for grappling, where you can build up the realistic behavior. Observe here that the weight plays an important role too. Put weight on the opponent, lift him up, move with your legs under his hip, go under the armpits, control the hands, and overextend his spine. Now you bring his hands to his back, and they're controlled with the body weight. Move with your right hand under the neck and choke. The defender clasps the leg here. Control over the left hand. He can't get rid of the leg. Keep control. Keep the weight on the opponent with the knee here. Now grab the left foot, roll over, and execute an ankle lock. Once more. The defender can't get the leg free. Control the arm, grab the foot, roll over, and apply the lock. The roll is not really necessary, just the partner does not know what's going on until the lock is applied. Once more, keep the arm under control. You can't get rid of the leg. Keep the pressure on the torso of the attacker. Grab the left ankle, roll over, and by pressing, apply the lock. It doesn't look like much, but it still hurts. Grab, roll over, lock. In this situation, the attacker is kneeing, the defender moves in, inserts his right foot, grabs with his left hand his right ankle, rolls over, goes with his right foot in his left knee, inserts the left foot behind the waist of the attacker, and moves back. This way he pulls a choke. In addition, you can apply a straight armbar. Once again. The man on the ground controls his jacket around the neck. Go down with your right foot. Roll over. Insert your right foot underneath the left knee. Put your left foot down and move away. And arm bar. You can see it from the other angle a little clearly, especially the beginning now. The neck is controlled. Move underneath with your left arm. Insert the right foot. Roll over. Move back. Choke. The left hand grabs the left hand of the opponent and pulls away. The right foot goes at the right side of the neck, down. The left hand grabs the right ankle. Now roll over. Put your right foot in the left knee pit. The left foot underneath the waist. And move away and pull. Out of this angle, you don't see the beginning, but the end is very clear. Roll. Interlock the foot with your knee. Put your foot behind his waist and move away. Now in a realistic speed. In this situation, the defender releases the hands of the attacker and moves in a straight arm bar. He can also apply a scissor choke in addition to his straight arm bar. When the right arm is controlled, he moves around, goes into a shoulder lock, or he puts his left foot in front of the neck, applies pressure through his weight and chokes. Moving down with the elbow, controlling with the knee, getting the right hand, turning and applying a straight arm bar. Scissor choke, both hand control, move from below around the right arm and through the bent elbow. Shoulder lock is applied, and now the left foot goes in front of the neck, and through the weight the choke is applied. Out of the guard position, the attacker gives a strike, deflect with the left hand, move to the neck with the right, turn and choke. You can roll over, control his left hand and choke in various ways. Punch, deflect, right hand is on the left side of the neck. The arm of the opponent is rolled around his neck. Here the left hand is controlled and choke with the forearm, with the fist or with the knife hand. In this situation, the defender grabs high in the collar of the attacker, moves with his leg above the neck, controls the left hand too and applies a choke. Slowly. The right hand goes high up into the collar. The left arm pushes the head to the side. The left leg goes over the head. The left hand controls the left hand of the attacker, and a little pushing of the hip applies the choke. High in the collar, left hand, leg, left hand control, through hip push, the choke is applied. In this situation, the neck is controlled with both hands. The man is on the ground, on the stomach position. Move with your right hand underneath the neck. Get your jacket out of the belt, grab your jacket, insert your left hand behind the neck and pull the choke. Neck control. He moves down and has a fairly safe position. The right hand goes underneath the neck, around. Jacket is pulled out of the belt. Jacket is grabbed, and with the help of the left hand, he applies the choke. Training exercises for ground fighting. In this first training exercise on the ground, the partner who is below tries to get out of this position only through turning of the body. The partner on top tries to prohibit this. He only uses his weight to control the partner on the ground. Once the positions are changed, the same exercise continues, just the roles are vice versa. When you're on the ground fighting, your main information about what's going on and what's happening is the feeling for pressure that the opponent gives to you. To develop this to a higher level, one of the partners using an eye mask so that he can't see. He tries to feel what's going on and to keep the partner under control with locks or chokes. The partner only defends at the moment. The active person tries to move from one controlling position to the next and tries to feel what's happening. Now both partners can't see. They will execute a normal ground fight and they will try to feel what techniques are possible. Kicks and punches are left aside consciously because they would be too dangerous in a situation like that. You can see that a normal ground fight develops. Even though both persons can't see, it doesn't really matter too much. This is an excellent exercise to develop sensitivity, not only on the ground, but also when you practice lock and throwing techniques. The fight continues, and both fighters develop higher sensitivity. If you have a well-developed feeling for sensitivity, it gives you a good advantage whenever the contact is closer in fighting. In this exercise, the defender on the ground has to try to keep the arms of the attacker under control. The attacker tries to punch and slap the defender and to exert pressure this way. The attacker continues to strike, to slap, and the defender has to try to get the arms under control. The attacker continues striking and slapping. There's a high stress level in this exercise, and it gives a good experience for pressure that you're under once you're on the ground and the attacker starts hitting. And one more time in normal speed. In this exercise, both partners have a handicap. One partner has the feet tied together. The other one is not allowed to use his hands. He has to keep his fists closed all the time. He's not allowed to punch. To get or maintain control despite a disadvantage or a handicap is the main aim of this exercise. For not being able to use the hands or the feet properly, both partners have to change technique and tactic to things they can do with the handicap. This is an excellent exercise when you want to develop certain abilities of students. If they are, for example, good with their hands, tie their hands together so that they have to defend with the legs. There are many different variations possible, like defending with only one arm, both upper arms are tied to the body, only certain positions are allowed, and so on. In this ground fight, everything is allowed. Just try not to injure your partner. Strikes, knees, and other atemi techniques are allowed, like elbows and headbutts, but not with full contact. This way, the partner feels very fast if he could keep the position that he's in reality, or if he has to move to another technique or tactic. Training with full body protection suits. Complementary to the normal training, the use of full body protection suits can be very helpful for realistic self-defense training. The suits will absorb 50 to 80% of the energy without the person being in that suit getting injured. Only the areas around the knee and around the neck are not well protected because there would be less movability if the protection would be 100% there. But especially this movability makes these suits so attractive for self-defense training. You see here the Fist 333 and the Red Man. In some training situations, it does make sense if you wear a Jujitsu jacket over the Red Man so that pulls, pushes and throws can be applied. In the first exercise, the attacker has head, chest and back protection. The defender has to try to ward off the punch and kick attacks and counter mainly with atemi techniques, strikes, punches and kicks to the protected areas. The person in the suit has always the possibility to stop the exercise when the contact is too hard. A trainer can do this as well. We advise you to start with about 50% power and to increase it gradually so that you get a feeling for it. In this exercise, the partner attacks with grabs, holds and chokes. The defender has to let him make the contact before he starts with the defense. He can place atemi, striking, punching or kicking techniques, again to head, chest and back, but he can also use locking, throwing or other techniques as well. Watch this sequence again from the other angle. Observe how the defender uses quite hard counter techniques and how the strikes are being absorbed by the body protection. In this exercise, both partners wear shin and thigh protection. This is virtually a double padding when the parts of the body hit each other. This allows almost full contact, especially when you train the low kick or shin kick. This is the stop kick. You hit the thigh with this kick. And now this is the low or shin kick. As you can see, despite of the protection, the movability is there and the techniques can be executed correctly. Here, the two partners added headgear in addition to the leg protection. Now, after the two strikes and the kick, an elbow follows to the head. This technique is also absorbed by the headgear. Kicks, two strikes to the head. Two strikes, kick, and elbow. Here, both partners act almost free. They added gloves, and one partner also wears chest and back protection. You can try to apply all techniques that you've learned because of the good protection. All attacks are possible, all defenses too. This exercise is a preparation for the defense against multiple attackers. The defender has both attackers in sight. Now he reacts on the first move of one of the attacker, gives him kicks and punches, and attacks the second man straight away afterwards. He's using only striking, punching, and kicking techniques at this level at the moment. We finished the training exercises with full body protection with the defense against two freely attacking opponents. One of the opponent wears the protection gear fist number 333, the other the red man. There are all attacks possible in this situation. The defender tries to use everything that he's learned, including the tactical approaches like keeping the back free, trying to defend first the dangerous attack and then against the less dangerous attack. And also that he tries to bring one of the attackers always in line between him, the defender, and the second attacker. Coordination and martial art are inseparably joined together. This is why we show coordination and sensitivity drills not only for Jujitsu. The more movements you can do at the same time fast, the better is your ability for self-defense. There are exercises that don't have anything to do with martial arts. Still, they train important things like orientation, differentiation, and peripheral viewing. We start with a set pattern of knife hands. Practice hitting the neck and the stretched arms of your partner always in the same manner. Speed up once you've got the rhythm. Do it with your right and with your left hand. Now, a straight hand strike is added once the left hand is on the left side. Especially in the beginning, the exercises have to be very precise. Later, they shall be very fluid and fast. Practice those exercises right and left side. This is a similar coordination exercise. Give a jab or a straight punch and execute a back fist to the palms of the partner right afterwards. You can add a kick before that. Kick, punch, back fist, punch, back fist. Punch, back fist, punch, back fist, punch, back fist. Keep cover with the rear hand. Now add the kick. A rope is an excellent sports tool. Besides training the condition, there are many exercises that can enhance your coordinative abilities. Here you see a few. When you practice different striking combinations, you can also use a weapon. Here, Bernd Hildebrand shows you a certain pattern of 12 stick strikes, which are repeated all the time. Changing the direction and, of course, the hand in which you have the stick makes it even harder. If you add other tasks, this exercise is going to be even harder. In a moment, Bernd Hildebrand will say a combination of numbers and letters like A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, and so on, while executing the drill. This concentration of two things enhances your abilities. Doing two things at the same time, which happens in self-defense all the time. You can also practice those combinations with two sticks. First, you can practice set patterns, and afterwards, like here, you can join those elements together as you like. A lot of movements are done at the same time. Many of them are applicable to empty hand self-defense. Here you see other exercises how to practice your coordination. Here the use of the block and counter weapon tonfa or the nunchaku. In this case, not real nunchakus are used, but the legal sport version of this weapon. Through the circular movements that the nunchaku executes around the hand, you have a continuous contact to the weapon. You get a feeling for the energy, how the turns are transmitted over the hand after a while. Once you know a few basic exercises, you can let the nunchakus find their own way. There are no conscious striking patterns anymore. Everything just happens. This is ideal for self-defense, going with the flow. when you juggle with different tools, the feeling for rhythm and adapting to new situation is practiced enormously. Only when you can keep a certain rhythm, a lot of those throwing combinations work anyway. If